So guys, when people say that they have tomato hornworm problems, this is what they're talking about. This little caterpillar will strip the leaves of your plant in no time. And I should be picking them off, and I will, but look at that. Just devouring away at the leaves. And this is a baby. These things get massive. I came out here to check on my Black Krim Tomato, which I've been telling you has been losing leaves, and I just thought it was from just the cats urinating on the bottom. But this guy was on here, so yeah, I guess that explains a lot. And now look at this. You see all the leaves are stripped down, and so I was just like, oh, it's pruning itself because the leaves are dying. No, this guy is eating them, and it's really hard to get the perfect lighting out here. I wasn't expecting to come out and record right now, but I just couldn't pass up this opportunity to show you guys, like, this is what it looks like, so that you know. Man. Now, guys, you gotta take these guys off, you know. They'll just completely eat everything. And so, I'm gonna be real honest. There are a few things in life that I am a little freaked out by. Caterpillars and snakes are like the top two. I know that sounds funny because I garden. There's this misconception that they won't hurt you, but they freak me out. And there's this misconception that if you like you're homesteading, you like wildlife. Yeah, that's not true. I like it from a far distance. I definitely don't want to be touching this little tomato hornworm. Look at that. Man. Isn't that crazy? If anyone's wondering, I always have people ask when I'm out in public what happened to my thumbnail. I was whittling away on wood, and the knife slipped and actually cut my entire nail bed off. So, yeah, it's still working on growing back. It's been a nightmare. So, here it is. This is a little tomato hornworm. Oh no, gross! It's trying to suck on my feet. Ew, but it's mouth on my finger. Where did he go? So I'm just gonna give these guys to my ducks. I'm not a big fan of pest caterpillars. Definitely freak me out. I'm big on textures. The worms, the way that they feel like earthworms, I'm not a fan of. But definitely look for leaf damage. You know, I just came out here and he was just sitting right here. And so you can see so the damage that it has happened here. And just the leaves are pretty stripped down. They're pretty much gone, completely bare. So there were leaves here earlier, and they're gone that quickly. So that's definitely something to look out for. And so last time I went around checking all of my tomatoes, and there were no hornworms, but there were leaf miners on them, and they get inside of the leaves and they completely hollow them out. So you can see like the difference. It's still pruned down quite a bit, but there are plenty of green leaves all over this tomato plant, whereas this one, it's pretty scarce. There's hardly any leaves whatsoever, which isn't good for my tomatoes. And so this time of year, because they're putting on fruit, potatoes really need potassium, but I'm actually kind of worried because there's so much foliage missing off of this right when it's really starting to put on tons of flowers were on here. And look, there's actually a baby Black Krim tomato. You probably can't see it in the video, but you can actually see it like forming a little tomato right there. And so my worry is that the leaves are so damaged now that it won't have the energy to put on fruit like it should. So I'm thinking that I'll probably give it a boost of nitrogen. Nothing too big, major, because like I said, right now they really need potassium. But the nitrogen will help put on some more leaves. And then I'll give it a little bit of potassium to help it out. And so look at this. These are actually finally getting leaves. They haven't had leaves all this time. So I'm really excited that they're finally starting to do better again. I've really had to crack down on keeping the pets out of my garden bed. See, they're finally recovering. So I might actually get some Cherokee purple tomatoes this year after all, which I'm excited about because they're definitely my top 5 tomatoes. So, and while I'm here, excuse me, Charlie.
Why are you taking a video?
I'm taking a video because I saw a tomato hornworm. See, it's in my hand. Is that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like messing with my hand. It's gonna freak me out a little bit. Guys, I really want to grow potatoes, and I don't know how I'm gonna manage to grow potatoes because
Wait,
No, it won't sting you. Do you want to hold him?
What's that?
I don't know how. It's a horn. That's why it's called a tomato hornworm. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to grow potatoes because I see people like finding snakes and things of that nature inside of the potato rows under like the hay and the mulch that they grow them in, and I'm just not sure how I feel about that. I'll probably have a nervous breakdown. That's the one thing I liked about keeping chickens is every time I went into the chicken coop, there would be chickens like eating. I've caught them eating snakes and all sorts of stuff. I'm actually gonna, gross. He's attached himself to my finger, which I'm not a big fan of. Oh my gosh. So, man, look at that. It's not the creepiest thing you've ever seen. Or maybe it's the cutest thing if that's what you're into. I'm really confused because I always thought the end with a horn was the back side of them, but the front side of them, but actually looks like this other side might be the front side. So I'm just really confused right now. Yeah, because it has a big horn on its head.
That's not its head.
Oh, it has a big horn on its booty. Even my 7-year-old knows that that's the behind of a tomato hornworm. So I guess it's common knowledge to everyone but me, but that's okay because the great thing about gardening and homesteading is that every day is a learning experience. Every day is an adventure. Like I came out here just on the phone with my baby sister to see if we had tomatoes for her, and we did not, but we had a tomato hornworm.
I just throw it on her. She would be scared.
Don't say that. That's kind of mean.
What's this?
Boys find entertainment in some kind of scary stuff. That's actually, those are, they're a type of fungus, and they actually, so if you see fungus pop up in your garden, don't get freaked out because it actually creates a huge webbing underground. What you're seeing is just the fruiting bodies, and this actually brings nutrients and plants, nutrients to your plants that they otherwise couldn't have access to. And guys, I've heard that these things can go on for miles, so I think that's really cool because in times of desperation, you know, you can count on fungus that you can't even see under your soil providing for your plants, and I think that's really incredible. So here are our cantaloupes. Now I heard this is more like a bush cantaloupe. I didn't even know that that was a thing, so I'm kind of curious exactly what's going to happen. I was trying to figure out if I should pinch these flowers off or not, so I'm really going to have to research it. But if you know whether or not I should pinch off the flowers, just drop a comment and let me know because I'm still learning. I'm learning right along the rest of you. What you see is like the beginning stages of our homestead and our garden, and just really getting to know how things work. Because I'm pretty new to this too. You know, there's some stuff I'm really knowledgeable in, and there's some stuff that I just have no idea what I'm doing, and I'm just hoping for the best. Oh, and look at this. Another pest. Like, ugh. Now this is the downside of gardening natural. You know, you are going to have pests in your garden. You're going to have problems. You're going to have to think of natural ways to deal with them. You know, like for us, for grass, we let our rabbits out in our duck pen. Our ducks don't bother them, and they actually mow like the grass, and the ducks cut the grass in there, and then we just move them around so that, you know, they can take out the grass and I can put in new garden beds. And I think that's really good. It's really good for the animals. It's really good for me. It's kind of working together with nature, and I think that's so important. And if I can't garden the right way and do what's best for the wildlife, then I don't want to do it, you know. Even if it means that I fail, I would rather continuously fail a few times and learn a way that we can all coexist than, you know, have to sacrifice my integrity in how I feel. Now, if chemical gardening is your thing, hey, you know, that's your thing. But it's not my thing, you know.
Do you mind if I make this into a butterfly?
I actually don't think tomato hornworms turn into butterflies. I could be wrong, but I believe it's some type of moth. I'm gonna have to actually look this up, guys. I really don't know what a tomato hornworm turns into. That's probably something that I should have looked up before recording, but I mean, miss an opportunity to see this guy.
It's an opportunity to watch it.
Yeah, it's
grow.
really cool. Okay, well, you have to talk to your dad about watching him grow, because the downside of growing out a tomato hornworm is that we'll be providing the next generation of tomato hornworms. Look at this, guys. It's a baby turnip, and it decided to pop up on its own. It's one that I planted before the freeze started, and I thought the freeze knocked them all out, and now I just randomly have little tiny turnips showing up. Now, the only turnips that I planted are, I believe, purple top white globe turnips, which are really cool. I like them because they kind of remind me of potatoes. They're sweeter, in my opinion, when cooked and grown in the garden than a potato, and they're way sweeter. The difference in the greens and the sweetness of greens is totally different than a grocery store. Turnips, this is like nothing you've ever tasted before. So if you have the opportunity to start turnips in late summer or early spring and grow, for us it's late summer, or like September, sometimes October for turnips, because it's so hot here, and it stays really hot all the way through September. Sometimes we don't even get a freeze until after the third week of November. So yeah, I mean, obviously it's full of bug damage and pest damage.
For the viewers, it turns into a 5-star wanted, I don't know.
A 5-star what?
5-star hawk moth.
Oh, okay. Tomato hornworms, according to Charlie, turns into a 5-star hawk moth. My kids are absolutely obsessed with nature. They teach me more than I teach them, I think, and that's really important. That's one thing I do love about homeschooling them, is there are times where I'm wondering if I'm doing the right thing. It's really hard, you know.
It's actually biting.
But
It's actually
let's
biting.
see. Oh my gosh, it's actually, you can see it, maybe not. It's actually eating the leaf that Charlie has in his hand.
It's a gray leaf, so they can't see it, and it's a green caterpillar.
No, they can see it because the leaf is darker. Look at that. That is so cool, Charlie.
I just picked that off of the tomato can and gave it to him.
Wow, that's incredible. But you're feeding tomato hornworms my tomato plants. Kind of like the opposite of what I wanted to accomplish. Oh, it's so funny. I want to show you guys this. How cute is this? They got little gnomes and fairies for a garden. And so yesterday I came outside. They ran inside like, Mom, there's a fire in the garden. And I started freaking out. And I ran out here as fast as I could. And guys, there was this little fire in the garden. It's just from their gnomes and their fairy garden. And so I was just like, haha, very funny. But I don't think I've ever gotten up and ran out of a house so quickly in my life. But that's it for today. I just kind of wanted to show you guys. I thought that was a really cool opportunity to see a tomato hornworm and get to show you guys what it looks like so that you can, you know, see for yourself. Because you hear us tomato growers talk about tomato hornworms all the time. So thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it.